Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got some more good lessons for you, so let's get this party started. That's how we do it. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So I asked the question, do you know you? Okay, it's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Because a person who knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can waken them. That's what I do for you. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And always to Mayat, be true. I'm giving lessons into self-mastery, and we've been going on a nice little go. Now I got 5 things, okay, to master on that route to self-mastery, okay? Or I know that as I told you, the rabbit hole to self-knowledge, know thyself, self-mastery. That's the name of the game. Once you have yourself mastered, you're good to go. So here's another one. We did steadfast. I think I started with steadfast. Now we're going to talk about the 5. Next 5 are fear, faith, patience, perseverance, and forgiveness. A lesson I just learned a little while ago. Again, life lessons. So you need to have these things in check or undercover or self-mastery for you to deal with every situation accordingly because of the knowledge. So let's go. Fear. Truth protects from fear. Remember, fear, the acronym is false evidence appearing real. So with truth, you have no false evidence, so there's no fear. So let's talk about that right quick. And fear is a natural human tendency. Okay, why? Because it is a useful tool to let us know when what we are in danger, or how to avoid potential danger situations. The greatest fear by far is what? Fear of death. Again, all ignorant people of themselves are scared to die. Okay? Understandably. Why? Because they don't have knowledge of themselves. So they have a reason to fear death. The fear of death due to ignorance of your true self. Once you realize that, now you're starting to understand. And that is the root of all our fears in the physical world. Imagine if you wasn't afraid of dying. Well, everybody but if you wasn't afraid of it, that means it don't bother you. Moving on. But the fear of death is due to ignorance. Again, it translates into fear of what? Watch this. Loss of one's possessions, car, family member, fear of hunger, not being able to eat, fear of rejection. Oh, they might not like me. Okay, want to validate yourself through other people's opinions of you. That's fear. And finally, fear is now exploring what? The darkness of one's own mind, the dark side, what nobody wants to talk about. Why not? It's yours. You not talk about it, but you should know it. Okay? Understand that. Where we at? The dark side of one's own mind is where everybody wants light. Go to the dark. of self. What's this? Discovery. You won't discover yourself in the light. You need to go back to the dark. And what's this? That's why at everybody's near-death experience, and I say near-death, why? Because they close. They thought they was. And all of a sudden, they went to the light. And what happened? They're back here. That's why it's near-death. Moving on. Just going to give you a concept. You know how I do. But now let's get the concept. The expectation and the fear of death is torture to the multitudes. We all go through it until what? You become awakened. You wake up and get knowledge so you can think otherwise. No, you can not believe, but know otherwise within yourself. What somebody else think or feel shouldn't affect you. Once you know what you know. Simple as that. Now, where's that down? Okay, did that choice. Okay, right here. Fear of even going through, wait a minute, no, wait a minute, down here. Expectation. Okay. We do not know the reason why the multitudes live in fear of death. Why? They do not know their true self. Simple. Knowing thyself takes that out the equation. Watch this. Fear is overcome. How? Through the power of wisdom. What do you get that from? That's gained through learning from what? The teachings and daily meditations on them. And then more importantly, I got to tell you, knowledge don't mean jack if you ain't applying them in what your everyday life and learn from the situations on a day-to-day basis. That's self-mastery at its best. You live it. You can't read it. You can't think about it. You got to experience it like God. You can think and believe all you want, but until you experience, now you got gnosis. That means to know from your own experience. You could care less about somebody. My personal feelings and understanding about God don't involve nobody else except myself. Moving on. That's what you got to understand. And when you do that, there's no fear. Why? As one explores the cult, meaning group hidden esoteric world, through what? Introspection and meditation, one is now able to discover what is commonly called death. How you discover death? Death is not death at all. Hello? Well, don't you? Now, again, pay attention. But just a different form of consciousness. Okay? Which one will what? Experience in another part of one's spirit. This means the physical world. We inside the physical body, but the spirit that in us belongs to the Creator. That's the whole concept. And what's this? You have a different form of consciousness. When you die, what we call death, which one have to experience. Why? That's why we come to this physical world to go to the next one to learn lessons so we can go on. The spirit don't die. Only ignorant people do. Simple. Why is this? And then the exploration of what? This realm, usually referred to what? To by the ignorant as death. Again, those who don't know will die. The process of this experience, watch this, is apprehensive at first, but as one gradually start to get understanding, becomes used to what? The experience of what? Light, sounds, apparitions, leaving the body, telepathically, etc. The astral plane. That's when the physical body at rest, your five senses is no longer in use. The sixth sense, the mind, the thought, that's what takes over. And understand it, that controls the spirit for real. And these impressions, watch this, these impressions will become part of one's what? Subconscious, as well as one conscious mind. You can't get it out of your mind. Death, I'm gonna die, I'm spirited. That's why, because it's gonna just keep haunting you. The goal is now to what? To be equally comfortable where? In all levels of experience and existence, be it physical or mental. To be one with the universal soul. This process will take some days, some weeks, months, even years. How about this? Lifetimes. We done been here. Why? Until you learn the lesson, you're not going there. You can't get into heaven being bad. That's what all religions tell you the same thing. This is the originator of the concept. That's what I'm trying to show you. Watch this. Now, depending on what? On one's, each person, individual, each one's level of what? Spiritual self-discipline, desires, love for all things, understanding, patience, devotion to who? God, and fearlessness is on your side. You have no fear. Simple. One of the best ways to reduce fear, you ready, is to develop faith. Ding, 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 ding. Don't get faith confused with belief. We're about to go into the faith concept. Watch this. Faith is based on, watch this, faith comes through understanding. Not blind belief, no. And indirect knowledge, meaning you can learn and understand. And now you develop a form, and it's also developed from listening, hearing from the teacher, reflecting, comprehending, understanding on what's being said, and then meditating, but more so you practice the teachings. That's why I do what I do, why I live this, I experienced it. So now I can teach it to you. Why? I know what I'm talking about, if nothing else. Moving on, that's why. And watch this, the intellectual understanding, meaning you got to have knowledge, you got to think right. With intellectual understanding, what happens? It transforms into intuitional understanding through daily meditation and righteous living. I expect when something go wrong to right itself. Why? That's what I expect from my higher self. That's why I do what I do. Live a certain way. Why? Because when these situations come up, if you ain't living right and you are in need of a blessing, if you ain't put nothing in, remember that, the righteous virtuous living, better to stack it up. I'm making deposits daily by doing the right thing. So I got some stacked up. Something to go to the ATM of blessings. I'm needing one. When? Right now. Not in his time. No, I ain't going for that. I need it right now. But that's the concept. And when you fully aware and understand that, you don't hesitate, you don't blink, you don't flinch, you stand steadfast on what you believe. And that's God. You may not, watch this, you may not understand your life experiences, but you do know that they point to what? To the fact that there is something, what? Beyond the ordinary state of consciousness, meaning human is something above human. Human is the lowest form. God can't be human. We are spiritual beings having this human experience for a purpose, and each one has to fulfill their own purpose. I don't have a problem with that. I'm doing mine. I'm just trying to teach you how to do yours. Let's go. That's why I teach. You have 3 states of consciousness: waking, dream, and deep sleep. Deep sleep is where you're going to go when you die. How about that? Oh, we ain't got to talk about that. Moving on. Now let's wrap up this whole concept with the last 3. They all go together. Patience, perseverance, and forgiveness. Those are 3 things and 3 qualities in life that if you ain't got in check, you're going to have problems. So let's talk about that right quick. Hope you get a better understanding. But these are the qualities that you have to exhibit to what? Gain knowledge and master yourself. That's all. These 3 ideas right here are important since what? The road is long and only those who can endure, that's the perseverance, okay, will attain the covenant goal. What is life's covenant goal? To know thyself. I'm not arguing. It's not up for debate. I'm not asking. I'm just giving an opinion that I stand on. Simple as that. You can think, feel any way you want, but that's what I say. Engaging, what's this? The progress of your own spiritual discipline will be, how blessed are you? Well, I don't want to hear this. Okay? It ain't about what you say. It's more what you do. So understand this. Do not judge yourself. Understand, listen, pay attention. Do not judge yourself on the basis of what? Of if you have had a good meditation or if you are able to understand all the teachings or if you have acted wrongly. If you're questioning your action, that's Monday morning quarterbacking, and you're probably going to be wrong. So when you did it, it wasn't right, and you think about now, that's Monday morning quarterbacking. That's not self-mastery. And watch this. In life, we all know there's going to be some ups and downs, okay? In your psychological journey in life, we all make our own decisions with this thing we got in our head. We all have our own. Understand? Once you realize yours is yours and everybody's got their own, you'll be fine. Worrying about somebody, that's none of your business, okay? Sometimes you may stop and wonder if what you are doing, the right thing. You got to stop and wonder if what you're doing is the right thing. You done went too far already. It's good you're stopping, because if you're at that point, you can at least stop it there, okay? And watch this, if the way you feel is normal, you're comfortable with that, if you're comfortable with that at all, judgment of one's progress is what? On the spiritual path, it should be based only and solely on what? One's control over emotions, one's ability to show detachment to what? Worldly objects, including people. We love mother and father. We love our wives, if we got one. Mate, opposite sex, or same sex for this matter. Y'all let that go. But I'm just saying, love, okay, that's an emotion. It's an emotion. We all have it. But if you don't have knowledge to control it, you're going to give love to the wrong people and they're going to hurt you. That's called suffering. But watch this. When you able to control your emotions, separate yourself from the things of the world and people, also, this will allow you to what? Experience true inner peace and gives you the ability to what? Control one's emotions, such as what? Anger. And in particular, you will have to learn to what? Forgive who? Yourself first. Self-forgiveness. Why? Because you're going to do things against yourself that's going to be regretted or feel bad about it until you what? Learn self-mastery. And you won't do things that harm oneself. When you do not perform up to your personal expectations, and that's the only person you should be expecting anything from or by or to is yourself. If you're expecting something from somebody else, you already losing. Don't expect nothing except from your higher self. That's cool. Man, don't put stock in them. Woman, they'll let you down. Moving on. That's just a philosophical concept, and all this is personal. This is how you get to be who you want to be, your best self. These are things that you have to have in check. This ain't new. Moving on. Emotional, here you go. This is important. This is the little right here. This is the meat and potatoes as far as I'm concerned. Why? Because this is going to break some good stuff down. Emotional detachment is not to be confused, and understand this why. This is why. Don't get confused with adopting a non-caring attitude. I just don't give it. I don't care. No, that ain't what emotional detachment and dispassionate means. Again, misunderstanding leads to misinterpretation, and misinterpretation leads to misactions, wrong actions. Moving on. So with alienating of others or physically separated from the world, that's not the way to go. Some people go join a monastery. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. But you are going to be who you are. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, whether you realize that, I ain't got to go change locations to be my best self. I just work into my daily routine. Simple. One must try what? One's best. That's all you can do to what? Perform any duties to the what? Perfection. The meaning you giving your best effort. If I'm competing and I give my best effort and lose, I don't have a problem with that. That's what all competing about. Sometimes they're gonna be better than you. Simple. But don't get on yourself. I've never cried over a loss. And that man beat me half my life. Never cried about it. What? I got stronger. It made me more determined to come back. That's fire. That's the ego used in the right way. Ha ha ha. See? You got to use the fight. They say it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight that's in the dog. Your ego is your fight. And watch this. So all that doing, be your best, give your best with all the time. Don't half-ass nothing. I never forget what's coming up. My job was to take the garbage out, keep the floor swept, all the house chores. My sister's job to wash dishes. If my parents came home and they found a dirty dish, she getting up, she going back and wash all of them again. That's discipline. Why? I'm not going to let you BS me. You might think it was good enough. It ain't good enough. Simple. Okay? Hold yourself accountable to be your best self. That's all. And our parents teach us that. That's what they do it. Hopefully it'll rub off. While separating oneself from the actions, that's never the way to go unless it's a bad action. If it's somewhere, something that you don't want to be part of, just leave. Again, I keep on Boys in the Hood, when Cuba gets the young man, pull over. What? Let me out. Why? I know what I'm about to do. It's going to lead me somewhere I may not want to go. That's when you make that decision. That's what he's showing you. You got to think about what? The people who taught you, your father. I didn't worry about the police now that I did doing wrong. I worried about my own man. Moving on. Just so watch this. Now, when you have detachment and you learn to master dispassion, and these are mental and spiritual disciplines from within yourself. Hold yourself accountable. What good would it do to give up what? All your possessions. I'm just I'm getting rid of everything. Numbnuts. All your possessions, watch this, only to what? Be upset when later, when you calm down, whatever state of mind you was in, when you came back to reality, you were not ready to what? Give all up. Or you can't believe what you have done. That action. If the action that you perform leads you to regret and suffering, it was a bad action. Simple as that. Don't do it again. Moving on. But when you rather develop a feeling, what's this? This is how you dispatch yourself. That I can take it or I can leave it. Some people say that, but when you understand it, that's how you feel. When I say I don't care, trust me, I don't care. So I'm not, that's just telling you how it is. Or, what's this? I would be the same with it or without it. Meaning it ain't gonna make or break me. Okay. Or, how you go? Success or failure only depends on what? The netters. And that's your higher self. It is what? Thy will. Their will. Inside you? Hello? And the idea, watch this, that what? My body is just an instrument of what? Of God. My inner higher self is using this physical body in human form to express itself, to learn itself, to go back to itself conceptually. And it should be cultivated, watch this, and understood what? That I am a servant of God. I tell you that. And I'm proud to say that. Why? That's how I feel. Simple as that. And watch this. My ego is a changeable illusion. That used to be me. That was me. Or ego. Pure ego. No clue about God. That was pure ego. Okay? That was ego. Years of it. Okay? That's it. Old and chiseled. It ain't gonna. He didn't change. Simple as that. I was more pliable, more loosey-goosey, all right? So, yeah, I made the change. That's my point. But it's all done from within. That's the point we're trying to make. That's self-mastery. You doing it for yourself. In this matter, I'm about to wrap it up for you. I see the clock. If the project that you involved in fails or succeed, it make a difference to you. If I'm on a football team, basketball team out there, if we won or lost, it wasn't because of me. I'm part of whatever we did. If it was good, I put my job in. If it's bad, I didn't do a good enough job. Simple as that. I understood that a long time ago. Why? I'm a competitor and I'm a team player. I lose as a team, win as a team. Simple as that. But I do me as an individual. Always did. And what happens? You will remain what? As before. What? Cool, calm, and at peace with yourself. And that's being in control. Hello, when your emotions run you, you can't find peace of mind. You're going to be constantly worrying about a whole bunch of nonsense because of your ignorance. And as the observing by your spirit, which is what? Who you really are anyway, let that lead the way. Wrapping it up. But eventually, watch this, through sustained effort from you, it will require, you ready? No thinking, And no one will develop strength of will to do what is what? Maya. To live by truth, justice, and righteousness. One now will begin to act what? Consciously. Being aware of everything one does. There you go. No more, no more money, more than quarterbacking, dog. And you are aware of everything you do and every motivating thought that has come into your mind. You have control over that. That's self-mastery. Now, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's not self-mastery. Moving on, wrapping it up. And you will now know, not believe, you will know which thoughts are righteous and which are not. That's your discernment. That's Anubis. That's a quality that you master. Again, all these things fall into place. Shoot, simple. Watch this. Now, wrapping it up, taking it home. You will learn to tell the difference between what? Real and unreal. That means good or, my girl, be able to distinguish. And now you will see the what? The pettiness and ignorance of what? Wars, hate, greed, racism, sexism, and attachment to what? Possessions of attachment to people, places, and things who are what? Variable, changeable, and who at one time or another may love you and guess what? Later on, hate or even hurt you. One will now, you'll be able to what? Attach yourself to who? God, who is what? My everything. And if it was yours, you know that too. That's my phrase. And I hear the people sing it. I understand now. I never thought about it. But once you live it, it makes the difference. Now, the words, I understand. Before, it make a difference to me. Wrapping it up again, I appreciate you tuning in. Complacency, which leads to regret and sorrow, are the discouragers from who? Set, the ego. We know that. Evil. And understand this. Know that ye are gods with what? Divine destiny, which you are total control of. If you lead yourself into incarnation, can't be anybody but yourself. But when you lead yourself the right way to stay spiritually disciplined, live a righteous and virtuous life, you lead yourself back to home, back to God. And you leading that, the destiny, you have a divine destiny and doing the right thing, that's discourages are for what? Your discouragement from your ego is just transient distractions that will lead you what? Away from the path of light. Here. And that, no, don't worry about that light when don't wait to see light in near death. No. That's the trick. Come back here. But the light in yourself, illuminate yourself from within. Hence the Illuminatis. They know things. You can become Illuminatis too. Know thyself. Okay? And that's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. You know I got more for you. But in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers who passed away. I got some things to do, so I'll be back.